What's going on, guys? It's your boy YNDXCJ, and welcome to a Halo Infinite news update video. It's been a good while since we had one of those. At the time of the recording today, but probably most likely yesterday for you guys, we saw the Halo Infinite Season 2 community live stream, where we saw our usual trio or quad of boys, Joseph Staten, Brian, Unishek, and Jerry Hook. They pretty much talked about things that they learned from Season 1, upcoming things for Season 2 and beyond, Season 2 Battle Pass, and even some HCS stuff. So I kind of just want to go over that, give you a kind of a TLDR of the like hour and a half, 2 hour live stream that they did, and kind of just talk about some things and yeah, just go over some stuff for you guys. So let's get right into it. So starting off first here, we had a conversation between Brian and Joseph Staten. This part of the live stream definitely kind of focused on like mainly like what they learned from Season 1, and like kind of what's upcoming for Season 2, and like all the kind of like technical stuff. It's not really like content heavy too much, but it's mainly like you know, what we learn, what we can do, what we're trying to do, things like that. And you know how Joseph Staten is, so he's definitely the guy that will go on to explain all the kind of inner workings that's going on behind the scenes. Even though it's not like in the most detailed manner, he will tell you everything that you kind of need to know about what's going on. And just to kind of give like a quick interjection of some of my own thoughts here, a lot of people give 343 like a lot of flack about like always having bad news and things like that, and just kind of always letting people down. And like, yeah, that's tough, but I do like, you cannot neglect or deny that like they are open, and it is kind of rare for a lot of like, especially big AAA developers to like constantly be open like this, you know, to like this regard, giving us the information that even if we already know, like even telling us, you know, it's always better to hear from the person what you know versus like, you know what's going on, but they're not saying anything about it. And there's a lot of publishers and developers that do that. That'll just put stuff out and things will go wrong, or there are things that people don't like, and they won't say anything either till like the next update or something like that. But I do commend 343 for always putting out stuff like this to kind of give the community an update about what's going on, and I really respect that, regardless if it's good or bad. But yeah, so Joseph Staten pretty much talked about the time span for Season 2. Like everyone knows, it's going to be 6 months starting May 3rd, going all the way to November 7th, technically November 8th, because Season 3 starts like November 8th. 6 month season again. If you haven't seen, I'll probably put it up in the video. They got the roadmap graphic as well for everything that's going to be coming during Season 2. And for mainly what Joseph talked about, he talked about like the quality of life updates that they planned on doing, and kind of really focusing on getting those down, getting the quality of life stuff down, and kind of just planning for like more seasonal content and updates and bug fixes. But some of the like main takeaways that I have from Joe was that like not only himself, but like a large majority of the studio is very disappointed with where they're at right now. You know, they really wish they could be moving faster and things like that, cranking out new content, and like it really hurts them to show that like they're in this position. But it's one of those things where like they need to take the time to slow down and figure things out so they can go fast, and we can have these 3-month long seasons, and we can constantly have updates and things like that. But again, he really emphasized that like they're in a time period where, at least as a studio, they need to slow things down, kind of take their time with things, so make things fast. And sorry if I'm like distracting you with my hands, that's kind of how I am when I talk. Kind of just trying to keep things super personal with you guys, so I apologize if I'm kind of throwing you off of my hands. I forget what the saying is, but like a lot of military guys use it: slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So it's kind of one of those things where like, yeah, you got to start off slow and it's going to take time, but the more time you take to get things right, get those fundamentals down, you lay that foundation, the faster you'll be able to go in the long run. And as a guy who is kind of on that path just in life in general, I'd like really vibe with that. So like, look, they're telling us up front that like, look, we gotta take things slow to make sure we're giving you guys everything that you want and you need. And even if it's slow, they're working towards that, and I cannot neglect or deny them for that. So I do appreciate that. Joseph then continued to talk about some of the like quality of life updates and bug fixes that they're like currently working on / planning for right now, and a lot of that revolved around like anti-cheat, the rank system, and kind of just the ranked experience in general. He talked about the like netcode errors with like desync and all that, which has been plaguing Halo Infinite since the launch of the game. Bug reporting, match XP to at some point get to that like Spartan career, that career XP type thing that we're going for. Obviously like core mixing and things like that, and even battle pass changes and things like that, which we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then a really interesting thing that Joseph talked about was the introduction of drop pods, which if you're not familiar with the Halo universe, a drop pod is essentially like a fast deployment mechanism for the ODST troopers, which is pretty much a pod or a small sort of shuttle that is rapidly deployed from like low orbit to the surface, so the ODSTs can pretty much get in there and get shit done as fast as possible. And they kind of wanted to take that and adopt that with their content delivery system. So he pretty much says that the goal is for like whenever they have some type of content, they don't want to have, when they have content ready to go, they don't want it to be bogged down to a big drop during the season and then kind of nothing, because that's kind of what it is right now. We'll have a big drop of stuff during the season that's 6 months. We might get like a fracture event or two and then like small updates. So he says that they want to kind of focus on making those bigger updates more frequently. He says the goal is to kind of have like these updates come like once a month or something like that, so they can at some point get to that like 3-month season with like a month or two of big drops every month usually. But again, like 343, that's the goal, and that's not necessarily confirmed that that's what that's going to be. So unfortunate, but it's nice to hear that they're kind of working on bringing more content to us in rapid successions. And again, they just talked about making a point to acknowledge that like where they are with pretty much us, the community, and like what's going on behind the scenes, so we don't always have to kind of play this guessing game of what's going on or where they're at. Again, even if we kind of know what's going on and things are going bad or things are going good, they kind of wanted to keep things up front and let us know what's going on. Then he also kind of touched on campaign co-op and the mission replay system pretty briefly, but they pretty much said that they're working on it and that the goal is for it to kind of be out and ready to go by August. Again, that word, you know, that's the goal, that's the plan. So come August, we'll see, or maybe earlier or maybe later. And then the last thing that Joseph really talked about was the seasonal narrative stuff that they have going on. So Joseph was talking about the narrative content that's going to come for, really it started in season 1, but like it's going to get heavier in season 2, whereas there's more of a overarching story that's starting to develop, and a story that we're kind of going to be at the like center of, which I think is really cool. It's always nice to kind of have like multiplayer stuff that's like on a narrative end, and it's not just like us fucking each other up or something like that, you know. I think that's pretty cool. And another thing that's pretty cool, we saw the snippet of the like intro cinematic for the Lone Wolf season 2 trailer. I'll probably play that here or something. And then even then we got like a little small snapshot that like I guess it's kind of confirmed that like when we have these kind of cutscenes and things like that for the multiplayer narrative content, like your Spartan will actually be in these cutscenes, kind of remnants of old from like the old Halo Infinite, the old Halo Reach kind of cutscenes, where like however you customize your Spartan, that's how they would show up in the campaign, which I find really cool. I'm glad that they added that a lot. I always found that was like a great way to kind of immerse you into the game that you're playing. And again, when he really focused on the narrative that we have for this season, which this season is the Lone Wolf season, and he kind of said that the Lone Wolf season theme is about these Spartans who are scavengers, who are behind enemy lines, usually with teams of 1 or 2, pretty much doing anything they can to get the mission done or get valuable intel or artifacts and bring them back home. And I really got like a sense, if you're like a Halo lore nerd, kind of like how I am, I got the real sense of like the headhunter squads that would like be these Spartan 2/3 squads of just 2-mans who would kind of get sent on like suicide missions, but they would put them like way back behind enemy lines, and they were supposed to be this like ragtag duo or sometimes singles of just a badass Spartan that would get shit done. But the missions were usually highly volatile and with low chance of survivability rate. This kind of seems like a baby down version of that, but kind of got similar vibes from me at least. That was mainly it for Joseph's part. He mainly talked about the quality of life updates and things like that, and kind of more stuff to expect narratively from the season 2 and beyond. And again, I thought that was very interesting. You know, I'm glad Joseph is always kind of the guy that gives everyone like the heads up of like what's going on and like how he's feeling and how the community and how the studio is kind of like feeling. So I guess he's kind of like the spokesperson for the studio, I guess. He does it more so than like Unicek or like any other community guys, but I mean that's kind of what you expect from Joseph at this point. And I really appreciate his like honesty and upfrontness about like what's going on and how he's feeling about things, because you don't really get that a lot. And call me a sucker, call me whatever you want, but I really respect that like he's upfront about like what's going on. Then moving into like the latter half, the kind of middle portion of what we have going on here for the season 2 live stream. This is where like Jerry Hook and Unicek talked about the battle pass. Mainly again, they talked about what they learned from battle pass 1 and what's going on in battle pass 2. Some key takeaways from that was mainly that like again, since these battle pass never end, you'll be able to since the battle passes never end, you'll be able to switch between season 1 and season 2 battle pass if you haven't finished it yet. In regards to season 2 battle pass, there's less of the like challenge XP boosts and like challenge swaps in there, and there's actually more like content for you to unlock and stuff like that. They even did like a quick run through of like all the items that are in there. I didn't really record everything because I'm going to do like a more in-depth one when the season actually launches. They even talked about having more content for like free track players, so you're kind of not boned if you don't feel like paying the money for the premium pass just yet. And then even again with that, since you're rising the content for the free players, you're also rising the content for the premium players. And there is some interesting content in there. I'm not going to say it's a banger battle pass, but from the glance, it looks there's some nice items in there. I definitely say the I don't even know how to pronounce the armor core. It's like the rocks. I'm gonna just put it on screen and you figure it out. But yeah, the new armor core looks pretty sick. More armor is more armor, so I'm always going to be happy regardless, even if I don't rock it or I don't like it. Yeah, so again, adding less consumables. They're adding more adding earnable in-store. They're adding earnable credits, which we already knew was coming, but again, they kind of re-emphasize that you'll be able to earn credits to that. So yeah, that again, nothing too crazy about what's going on in the battle pass, just taking some things out, adding some new things in, making the battle pass something that you definitely want to grind for more, because there's more items that you would probably want in there. Then on top of that, they also talked about like the store and how they're like trying to continuously rework that and respec that to make sure everything is good, make sure everything is right. Again, they talked and looked into like pricing, working on the bundles, potentially buying individual pieces and things like that. And then obviously something that's on like everyone's mind, the like cross core stuff, make sure everything is being shared. So there's, again, they're working on like sharing the armor coatings and like even the materials, just making sure everything's good and make sure everything's compatible. Again, they said like the goal is to kind of have most of the stuff be kind of ubiquitous and cross-worthy, but they're kind of starting small and branching out from there. And then they kind of ended off the like battle pass section just talking about like the new game modes and things that are coming out, Last Spartan Standing, King of the Hill, and Land Grab, talking about adding those modes in and keeping those modes in the overall like multiplayer section like when they launch, because for some reason during season 1 they would love doing they love doing like adding in modes and then taking them away for like a few weeks and then putting them back in. I don't know why they would do that. That was really annoying and kind of confusing. So I'm glad that they're not planning to do that for next season, which is good. And then the last part of the live stream was about the HCS stuff. I didn't really take too many notes on that, but again, the HCS Kansas like big super LAN event that's coming up for the states is this weekend, the 29th through the 3rd or something like that. Again, pretty similar if you're familiar with Raleigh. Similar to that, I think it's a little bit bigger, more teams, pool play, all your stuff. Definitely going to be covering that. If you're an esports guy, stick around for that. But there will be Twitch drops for all of that. Vehicle coatings I know is one. I'm pretty sure there's like 2 emblems and a weapon charm. There may be a stance. Don't quote me on the stance though. Pretty sure it's just Twitch drops only, so log into Twitch. watch the event, of course, and you get some free stuff for Halo Infinite. That was the whole sort of shebang shaboom of the season 2 community live stream. Again, it was like 2 hours, so you know there was a lot of stuff to go in here, but not too much to really not too much that we don't know, but it was good to get some more insight from the guys who were actually behind the scenes doing some of the work. Again, I kind of wanted to share this with you guys because I found it interesting, and I kind of wanted to bring some new Halo news to you guys. It's been a while since I brought any Halo news or any real Halo content on my channel at all. This has me really excited again for Halo, and I have a lot of faith in 343 and Halo Infinite as well. It's a really good game regardless of the like content issues and some of the like bugs and issues that are there. It's on the bottom surface of everything, it's a good game, and I haven't really seen the community like this in a long time, so I'm glad to see it. If you found the video helpful or enjoyed it at all, then be sure to leave it a like. Leave a comment down below on what do you think about season 2 and how it's going to be for you. And if you want more Halo Infinite content like this, then be sure to hit that big red subscribe button down below for your boy. It's been boy XCJ. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Spartans.